Right then, people, welcome back to another yet exciting adventure. Right, so anyway, it's 4:30 in the morning. We're back out. We're going to get down on the mark. Hopefully we're after a blonde again. You know how we do. Obviously we don't have one yet. We're going to try. So we're only going to do a couple more videos. Going to try and catch one. And then we're going to move on to something else. Going to go up the country and try and find something different. Because obviously all the ray marks are starting to get quite busy now. Obviously they're turning up and stuff like that. And having to get up at 4:30 in the morning to get the marks, quite mad, isn't it? But yeah, we're going to fish down. I'm going to get down there for about 5:30. We're going to fish till about 4 o'clock today, 2 hours after high water. Anyway, scrap the fishing, right? Big ups to everyone actually that's linked in, Bosch, clicked on, whatever you want to call it, Bosch, you know what I mean? Smash up all them buttons down below. But it's 4:30 in the morning, yeah? I'm driving down Bovey Straits, right? Because that's where I live, do you know what I mean? Ain't a secret, I ain't famous, Bovey Tracy. And then, Bosch, the BP garage is 24 hours, bruv. I've lived here 7 years. Didn't even fucking know, did I? I'm going to have to beat that out, don't I? Anyway. Just got myself a naughty large little coffee. Oh yeah, up the bay. That's going to be nice and warm, that one. Because it is freezing outside. There's actually frost on my car this morning. Obviously, I do live by the moor, so, you know, you might not have got it yet because we're special. And, got myself a naughty little breakfast baguette, boys. Right, so we're going to scran down on this on the route. And, I'll bring it back on the bank. Gosh, guys, welcome back. Right, as promised, we're down on the ray mark on the rocks. You can probably hear behind me, it's quite a big swell. Last night, it was 9 to 10 foot swells. So I'm hoping, once the light comes through, the water's got a nice brown to it. It's not clear. It is meant to be a sunny day. Swells are dropping. Well, they've dropped now to about 4 to 6 foot, and that's what they've been forecast for the day. So hopefully we've got the conditions right. Low water's in about an hour, and then we're going to fish all the way up to high, and then an hour or two over the top, depending on how well we're doing. No, I'm lying, we're going to stay till 5 anyway. I always try and convince myself there's no point staying, but at the end of the day, I'm allowed out. I'm out till 5, and then I've got to go and take the wife out to go and meet her friends, so might as well stay the whole time. I'm only going to be at home, sat on the sofa anyway. Right, so let's get into it, baby! Sorry guys, I'm going to disappear from the screen for a little minute. Bosh! Right then, sand eels. Wriggler's baits, guys. Someone dropped a message on the YouTube saying that the Wriggler's bait code wasn't working, so I quickly rang through to Wriggler's. They had a look on there, everything seemed alright. I put an order on there as well, and gave me the 15% off. So it's OnlyFins 15, guys, not OnlyFins 10 anymore. And the OnlyFins 15 also, there's no limited spend, so it doesn't matter how much you spend. OnlyFins 15, you get 15% off all your orders. So go to Wriggler's Baits, prime sand eel. We've already got one back sand eel today. We've got mackerel, we've got English squid that they've just recently got in, which has been doing really well lately. Obviously I've been using the mackerel and squid wraps, that's what I've been having my fish on mostly. I've been using sardine, capelin. Obviously the other day I was using capelin. That's what I had all my eels and that on. So it's all prime bait, it's all catching fish. So yeah, that's that really. That's my sales pitch for Wriggler's. Oi oi up the boys if you're watching. And so there we go. Tails off. I'm going to use 3 because they're mediums. Obviously, as you guys know, if you have been watching, if you haven't been watching, I like to use the pulley pennel with a pair of size 5s. A lot of people say that's too big. Use smaller, but seems to work for me, especially with my ray fishing. I think I've dropped maybe 1 or 2, something like that, since I've been using it ray fishing. So, and I've had them all the way down to like £2, even smaller than that. So the size 5 seems to be good for the ray. Also, we've got a chance of Huss today. Big conger, obviously we're in the dark, so I don't want to chance it. I'd rather just use a pair of size 5s and land the fish. I've got a £100 leader, and yeah, we're going to get after it. Obviously the swell's really big, so it smashes against the rocks when you're bringing a fish in and that. So you know, you don't want to use anything lighter and lose it. So there you go, a lovely little compact sand eel bait. I'm going to smack that one out. I'm going to keep the bait small today, guys, because you might be able to hear it in the mic. If you do, I apologise. We've got a 20-mile-an-hour southeasterly wind. It's not 30 mile an hour like the other night, so it's manageable, but obviously it is soon to drop off. Soon to drop off? I don't know, something like that. It's going to drop off a bit later. Obviously you've got the incoming tide. That's the, you know, high tide's the prime time for me, and it's going northwesterly, so it'll be from the back, and it will be, if you like it from the back, you know what I mean? No. But yeah, from the back, and it'll be 5 mile an hour. So hopefully it'll flatten off. It'll be nice and chocolatey, and yeah, we'll have a few ray out. But anyway, we're going to get some baits out. I'm going to stop waffling on, and hopefully we'll bring it back with a fish in a bit. Right then, people. Well, there you go. As you can see behind me, day is breaking, and first cast fish. We've got a little baby huss here, you know, a couple pound. Oh, calm down, calm down. Relax, relax. Oh, he's more awake than me this morning, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, I had a little pullover. Yeah. Oh, come on, calm down. The bigger ones are easy to hold because they just sit there for the camera. But there you go. Lovely huss. Absolute belter of a fish. Felt a bit bigger in these swells, to be fair. But yeah, off the mark. I mean, we're not going to blank. First cast, first fish. So hopefully that's how the day goes. Fish a cast would be lovely, but you know, a few ray, maybe a bigger one of these, and yeah, we'll be on to a winner. But what a way to start the morning. Right, I'm going to get it baited up and sent back out in a bit. Good morning, people of the real world. Woohoo! Well, what can I say? We're on to a winner, I think. Obviously, sun's come up. We can see a little bit now. We've got bags for days as well, if you know what I mean. Sorry about that, people, but sometimes it is what it is. That wind has completely dropped off now. There's a bit of colour in the water. There's a really nice swell on. Not overly massive, but you know what I mean, it's still smashing up. Hopefully it keeps that colour in the water. Tide's been coming in for about half an hour now, so it's probably like just changed, sort of just started to come in. We are going to have to go up to the top when the tide comes up a little bit. But we're going to sit down here for a minute, and hopefully we'll see a few fish out. They're probably going to come between 3 hours away from the top of the tide and then 1 hour over. That's usually when I get them at my best time. But well, that's when I've been having them lately anyway. One bit of a downer, just in the bay there's 2 or 3 seals. Obviously it's really rough, so the bass and all that, and all the bait's probably been kicked up at the bottom. So they have seemed to have disappeared at the minute, but as soon as light broke, there was a few bobbing in the waves. Hopefully they've gone for good, but if not, you know, can't help Mother Nature. You know, at the end of the day, the seals have got to eat as well, haven't they? So hopefully, with any luck, I've just put 2 fresh baits out. I've got squid. I'm not gonna lie this time, like I did last time. I've got squid and sardine on one, and I've got mackerel and squid on the other. So I'm going to save the eels for halfway up the tide. We haven't got very many, we only bought 1 pack. I did actually buy a big booster pack from Wrigglers. They do a box of 20 packs, small eels, and yeah, they've been working really well, but I want to try and hold them back, really, save them for later on in the winter. But I will be using the odd pack here and there. I mean, if it comes to it, I'll use them, and then I'll just buy another big box. They're not expensive, you know, and they work. So, especially when I fish out Dawlish Warren quite a lot, I do prefer to use the smaller eels. You do seem to get the small-eyed on them. When you use the bigger ones, you seem to get the dogfish. I mean, I don't know if that's a thing, but in my head it is. Obviously, that's the good thing about fishing. It's different for everyone. We all have our little quirks. Like my rod's now like this. For some people, that would do their head right in. They'd have to have a bang on. Certain baits people like to use, certain sizes, certain size hooks. Obviously me, pair of size 5s, fully pennel. Everyone has their different rigs and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully we'll see a few fish out. If not, it's a lovely morning. I'm just about to put a coffee on. And yeah, let's get into the session. Oh, it's right then, people. Well, fortunately, the fish aren't hungry, I don't think. I mean, we're about 2 hours into the incoming tide now. So we're coming up to about prime time. So there you go, breakfast. Got leftover Chinese from yesterday. We've got some, what have I got in here? Crispy chili beef and bean sprouts and noodles. You know what I mean? Perfect fisherman's breakfast. Obviously stayed in last night, didn't go out for a few beers, so ended up getting a Chinese. Mrs. quite kindly cooked me some leftovers in a Tupperware, ready for today. As you can hear, the swell's on, conditions are perfect, so hopefully in the next few hours we'll have a fish. If not, do you know what I mean, we have had a fish today, so we can't complain, but a couple of nice ray would be ideal, and hopefully another PB. I mean, we've been getting quite a lot of PBs lately, so it just goes to show, you know, you put the hours and the time in, get the marks early and stuff, and you can end up getting some good rewards. So on that note, I'm going to cheer away on this, and hopefully we'll get a few fish. Yeah, definitely spicy, baby. Right, I'm going to put a bit of a change out in a minute. I bought some capelin as well. Just found them in the bottom of the bait bag. So obviously the other baits aren't doing anything at the minute. While we're at the middle of the tide, I really want to try and get a decent fish on them. I've seen a lot of anglers reports and stuff, and they've been using them and getting some good fish on them. So they're a really good price as well. So hopefully we can see a few fish on them, and then get a few more ordered in for the freezer. So I'm going to put the capelin on both and see if I can see us a ray out. Right, in a bit. Right, people. Well, I don't know if you can see me. As you can see, the sun's blaring away. I think it has had an effect on the fishing. Obviously, we haven't had a touch since this morning. A little bit gutted, but we've still got about 3 hours, 2 hours of the water left coming in, and then an hour out. So, you know, there's still chance of a fish. But I'm not sure if I see it happening, to be honest. Well, I hope it does, but you know, the conditions are good, but that sun's just beaming on the water. And as you all know, I do prefer fishing at night, and when it's overcast you just seem to get more bites. I don't know if there's any science to it or anything like that, but for me it works. I'm changing this rod over just to a full sardine. Just going to smack a whole sardine out there, just because it's really high in the oils and stuff. Get some scent in the water, and hopefully that attracts some fish. I'm going to stick to capelin on the other rod, and then hopefully we get a bite on either, and we've got plenty of each, so we can switch both rods over. The sea's not as big as I thought it was going to be. It's actually flattened off a little bit, so what I might do is, oh, look at all them guts, lovely job. Yeah, I mean, fishing's not for people that don't like a bit of gruesomeness. Look at the state of that. Lovely jubbly. Right, that's that bait done, wrapped, ready to go. So I'm going to send this one out now. I'm going to wash my hands first because they're absolutely minging. And hopefully that helps us, gives us a little edge. All them guts and all that scent just entices a fish. Other than that, guys, that's all you can do really. Just keep changing your baits, keeping them fresh, keeping the scent going out, and hopefully you get a fish on. But yeah, not feeling it 100%, but you never know, there might be a few fish out there. They might turn up over the top of the tide. If not, this is going to be my last trip down here, I think, for a while. I've had a few good fish out of here now. Maybe the honey hole's starting to dry up a little bit. So I've been on Google Maps. I found myself using the knowledge that I've gained over the last couple of months. I've sort of looked around the coast, found where I want to fish. Looks quite hard to get to, but obviously now we've got the rope gear and all that kind of stuff. We're going to jump down there, and I'm going to give it a few sessions and see if we can get a few ray out down there. But yeah, if we don't get anything from here today, we'll probably leave it for a while, come back in a few months, and you never know, the ray might have moved on. They're not going to stay in the same place all the time. So the only other thing that might not be to our advantage today is the tides are a lot smaller than they were when we come down last time. So, but anyway, might get a fish still. So anyway, let's get back to it in a bit. Oh, it's right then, people. Well, we've been here a few hours now. Unfortunately, it hasn't happened today. Well, not yet anyway. We're going to recast both the rods and that will be the famous last cast. You never know, sometimes you do end up with a fish on the last cast. It's high water now, so I'm going to put them out, let them soak for an hour. If nothing happens, make my way back up the cliff, and yeah, that'll be the end of the session. But fingers crossed, we'll get a ray out. I can't complain, do you know what I mean? We had the bullass this morning. We've had a good run the last few sessions. We've had loads of ray out. Well, loads, I mean, we've had 9 on 10, I think, something like that, maybe more, which has been really good considering before I wasn't hitting into any. So yeah, I've seen a few posts as well, and there's a lot of big ones been coming out locally. So hopefully on our next trip, on our new little venue, hopefully we can see a few out. We might even see one today. You never know, anything can happen. But I think this sun's killed the fishing, to be honest. I mean, I'm not going to complain. I've got a nice little tan on, but yeah, it's going to be a right sweaty mess when I get to the top of that cliff. But it is what it is. So hopefully we'll get you a fish. If not, I'll come back to say goodbye anyway. But let's get after it in a bit. Right, guys, welcome back. Well, as luck would have it, I managed to get a few more hours on the bank and hopefully get us a bonus fish. So turns out my wife's going out in Exeter, so I looked on the old Google Maps and found that not far from there, she's only going out for 4 or 5 hours, so not far from there, there's a little opening in the River Exe at the very top end, and I have checked, it's still tidal, so I don't know whether you're allowed to fish where I am, but you're allowed to fish this part of the river. So hopefully we can see us out of bass, or hopefully maybe even an early flounder. Obviously we've got chances of silver eels as well, and it has been known to hold some gilts. So we've got some pre-made, there's plenty of tide in here, so I've got the 2 hook loop rigs. I've got some pre-made. The tide's still going out at the minute, so it's pulling through really, really hard. So I'm just going to flick one out, see what happens, see whether it holds in the tide. If not, we'll wait for low water. It's about half an hour away, and then we'll fish the incoming tide. Where I'm fishing at the minute, obviously it's running right to left. There's loads of trees and that beside me, so you can't really fish it out. But obviously fishing it in, you've got loads and loads of room up towards the bridge there. So hopefully, with any luck, we'll get some black lug on these. We've got some peeler crab as well, and yeah, we'll get a bass or maybe even a flounder. So this is a little bit of redemption for earlier. Obviously we put a fair few hours in. I was going to go back down there this evening, but a few anglers and that started turning up, and in all honesty, when that happens, you know, the likelihood of me getting a spot when I go back down is very unlikely. So thought I'd just pop on the river, wait for my wife to finish her night out, and then I can just pop back in the car, go pick her up, get her home safe. Right, anyway, that's enough jargon. Let's get to the fishing. Bring it back in a bit. Right, guys, so if you've ever fished the River Exe, you'll know at low water, at Exeter end, it funnels into a big channel. So there's a lot of tide, even on a small tide. It sort of forces itself into like a small channel, so there's so much water coming through, and then as the tide comes in, it comes up and the tide sort of eases off. So it's actually pumping through at the minute, but obviously we have got this loop rig set up. Look at all these hooks. So I'm just going to put one out at first. So I've actually got some, these were fresh blacks a couple of days ago. So I'm just going to start off with a black on each, and then see if that gets us any bites. Obviously this river's known to hold a lot of bass, flounder, but to be fair, I've never fished this far up before. The furthest I've ever fished up is obviously where you've seen me fish before, just up past, I'll cross there past the church. So not too sure what's going to happen really, but there you go, there's one sticky black. I don't know how much you can see of this, guys, but I'm just going to throw it on the end of my video. You never know, we might hook a nice bass. I've had bass in this river well over £9. I mean, if we hook one of those on these little hooks, probably not going to get it in, but I mean, if we get something £2, £3, £4, we should land it. I mean, it says the snoods are £26, but I mean, they don't feel like £26. I mean, the shop bought ones never do today, but you never know. Obviously, this is just a little bit of fun. We're out. We've got an extra few hours fishing before, rather than sitting at home waiting to go and pick my wife up, we can just throw a few casts out and hopefully get us a few bonus fish. Right, I'm going to clip that one down now, send it out, get a coffee on the brew, and yeah, hopefully we see a few fish out. Obviously this place isn't secret, guys. I've literally just found it on Google Maps. It's just on Totsham side, just by the playing fields there. So don't know if any of you have fished it before. If you have, drop the comments in below if you've ever caught anything. But anyway, fingers crossed, just try and get one out in a bit. Right then, people, didn't think it was going to happen that fast, but there you go. Little silver bar. I can't be too loud because there's a few houses behind me, you know, and I don't want to upset anyone. But there you go, new venue, first fish. Let's see if we can't get a bigger one. I'm sure there's going to be many of these. That was literally, it's been in the water 5 minutes. Absolutely mega. In a bit. And there we go. Species number 2. Lovely little flounder. Well, I say little, it's not a bad size at all. I'm going to weigh it and I'll let you know what it weighs, but there you go. Look at that, look. Can't be a little bit of estuary fishing. First one of the year. Obviously we've just hit low water now, so hopefully we get a few more of these, and you never know, maybe even a bigger one. But I reckon it's a good pound, maybe £1.5. We'll get it on the scales and I'll let you know. Absolutely magical. We haven't had one of these for the camera yet. Obviously winter's coming, guys. Little reminder as well, obviously the National Flounder Competition is on, and I think it's the 10th and the 11th. I'll put it in the last video, but yeah. Flatfish, what a bonus, absolute bonus. That's what we came for, really. Obviously I do want to start doing a bit of flounder fishing. I haven't really done a lot before. I have had a few, now I've had an extra one. So yeah, we get this one on the scales and see what she goes in a bit. Gosh, and there you have it. £1, 6 ounces. Absolutely lovely. It's really good to see one. Flat as a dab. It's quite chunky, this one, to be fair. Yeah, I'm quite shocked. Obviously it's still quite early in the year, so hopefully we found ourselves a little spot, and hopefully we see a few more. But yeah, what a way to start the winter. Mega one. Right, I'm gonna get this one back now, and hopefully we can get a few more out. Sorry if I sound a bit tired, I've been up since 4:30 this morning. I keep repeating myself and that, but yeah, nothing better than getting into a few fish in a bit. Right then, people, right, session has come to an end. Unfortunately, you know, people do have to sleep, so I'm gonna have to go and get some shut-eye. But got to pick the wife up on the way home. It is early hours into Sunday morning, but obviously the what was I about to say then? This is what happens when you don't sleep. Now, obviously the clocks go back, so obviously the evenings will be getting darker, so we will be doing a lot of sessions on the estuaries, after work sessions. You know, it's quick, it's easy, it's right near my house, and hopefully we'll see a few more flounder out and maybe a big bass. But yeah, until the next one, guys. If I don't see you before, I'll see you after, and if not, I'll see you on the bank in a bit.